So this video is really just showing you how you might start to combine all these different things, and it's going to go into a little bit of some material work. This is like a really quick and easy, quick and dirty kind of material work. It's not really touching texture mapping, which is the separate video set, but we'll get into that as we go. Here I'm just setting up a liquid domain around this object, and you could imagine this being your kitbash object. I'm just setting up a really simple liquid simulation domain, and I'm immediately just giving it a really big velocity, so it's going to launch towards the object. I'm starting with it at a pretty low resolution while I just see if it's going to work, and you'll see I'm just iterating through the settings, and here I had a nice collision set up on the mesh, and it's starting to just glop onto the front there. Thought that was pretty cool, and so I upped the resolution a bit, tested it again, increased some of the quality settings, tried it one more time, and then you'll see here in a moment I decide to up it even higher and cut the video while I went away and baked it. Gave it quite a bit of time to do. And you may not know exactly why you could do this or why you would do this, but one reason is because it just generates really cool form, which you'll see here in just a moment after the bake. You have the animation as well, which you can see here. It's like slowing down a bit. It's almost like a slow-mo liquid, but I actually froze a frame of it there by duplicating the simulation and then applying the modifier. And then I had this really interesting form work attached to the bash, and I went through that same process that I've been using before, where I just merged them together. This is totally optional and not always required, but makes some pretty interesting results because I wanted to do some holistic material, and I wanted everything to be the same material together as one object. So here I was just testing some glass, and I thought that looked pretty nice, especially once you start playing with some of the focal settings on the camera. But I wanted to keep pushing it a little farther. You can just save renders as you go. You get several iterations and versions. Then I started really just tampering around with some of the colors and getting a feel for what it was turning out to be. And I took a second here to decimate a copy. I was trying to just see if I wanted to add any additional stuff to this mesh. This process took a very long time because I had merged them together. So, just be careful with high poly count stuff. But you'll see there I decimated it, turned the decimated one to a wireframe, and started thinking about combining them, but I wasn't real happy with it, so I actually just ended up hiding it. Everything's an experiment as you go through. Experimenting even with camera angles continuously as trying out different colors of the glass and things. I really liked that one. It looked like a candy, like a sugar candy. But eventually I decided I would go back to white for a second and put some hair on it. And just like I was with the liquid, you're just testing at lower resolution first, getting the hair settings about right, and then maybe you up the quality a bit. I do swap to render mode here because the hair looks very different in the viewport mode versus the render mode. I actually really like this kind of tentacly hair. I was going for more of a kind of mechanized organic creature here, really subtly mechanized. If you zoom in, you can see some of the machine parts inside, but maybe you want it to be more mechanized. Maybe you're not into the hair stuff, but I just thought I would show it in this one. The render did take a while, but quality, can't rush quality. Just let that run, and then I decided to go through and do some shader shenanigans. And what you'll see here, I just changed that bottom timeline into the shader viewport, and all I'm doing is really simple. I'm added a color ramp node, and the color ramp node is really cool because you can start to add color gradients. And here I haven't applied the gradient yet. You actually have to apply texture coordinates, which I couldn't remember the node, so I had to look it up. But if you apply texture coordinate node, it gives the color node the data of the spatial data of the object, and so you could start to apply color gradients as a material. And then, of course, you could make that a glass again or all sorts of stuff. And here I actually end up trying a few different modes. I do try a gradient of the glass, but then I remembered, oh, okay, the hair is still separate. And So you'll see as I go through, I'm just like trying some different things. Then I changed the node here at the end into a principled volume node. And then I was starting to just play around with some noise textures and coloring smoke inside the form of the object. Smoke is really cool and it looks really nice if you nail the settings, but be careful with it. It takes forever to render smoke.